Okay, so for those of you who haven't been reading my posts, here's an update. It's now about 2 weeks since I've been completely off the duloxetine, which, a brand name for duloxetine is also commonly known as Symbalta. It can be prescribed for major depression, it can be prescribed for fibromyalgia, neither of which I have. So, I'm sitting here kind of wondering why my psychiatrist put me on it for 2 years. Oh, here comes the cat. Here she comes to save the day. Baby girl is on her way. Oh, she found her treats. So, okay. So, when you get off of certain medications, like antidepressants, you have to taper off of them. I was on 60 milligrams for about 2 years, and tapering off of them, you don't do that by yourself. You do it under the guise of a doctor. So my psychiatrist was tapering us off of it, me off of it. Michael's not on it. He doesn't need antidepressants. Lucky bastard. So for 3 months I was tapering off of it, went from 60 to 40 to the lowest that they have, which is 20, which is still a rather large amount, but that's the lowest that they have. They don't have 10s. So, a couple of doctors have said to me recently that they would have done it a lot slower. But here's the thing. Because I don't have the diagnosis that Symbalta is prescribed for, it didn't work. All I got were the side effects. And the biggest side effect that was the most noticeable, the two biggest side effects, were that I was constantly hungry and I couldn't lose weight if I tried. I got down to my cat's yelling. I got down to 185 and was like that for like 9 months, and I had given up carbs, I had increased fiber, I had increased protein. It was not working. So I gave up and I went off the deep end and I went crazy on junk food, and I gained a lot more weight. A lot of weight. So much weight. I could feel it. I could only wear pants with elastic. I couldn't have my button-up pants because they were too tight. So definitely had to go off of it. Well, it's been 2 weeks since I've been completely off of it, and I am hitting the withdrawals hard. Now, apparently there are class action lawsuits against Symbalta because the manufacturer said that withdrawals were rare. Well, if you do a little research, you will come across many people who said Symbalta ruined their lives. And the withdrawals are not rare. And they are very severe. For an example, about 10 years ago, I had developed agoraphobia, and I couldn't go to the psychiatrist to get medication. And I was on a really bad medication called Paxil, and it messed me up. It's an SSRI, and I can't have SSRIs, we found out. We found out a little too late. This is my rainbow blanket. Anyway, I had to quit Paxil cold turkey. Those withdrawals were not nearly as bad as this. Not even close. I've suffered from migraines for 20 years, and I have never had head pain as bad as this. I can't keep down any food, not even bland food, and I for like over the course of 20 minutes, the last thing that I ate were 3 saltine crackers that I nibbled like a mouse, and I threw it all up. It's hard to keep down water. I can't keep down my supplements. I didn't take any of my supplements today because I can't keep them down. It was hard just keeping down my Ambien last night. I'm surprised that I did it. But I had to lie there for hours waiting for it to dissolve and keep a mantra in my head going, I'm not nauseous, I'm not nauseous, I'm not nauseous. Well, I am nauseous. And the thing is I think that the headache, because nausea is already a withdrawal symptom, I think that the headache is making the nausea worse. It's making so no remedy works. No ginger, no peppermint, no lemon, no chamomile, no Zofran, no Emetrol, nothing orally works. I had to go to the ER because I was throwing up so much that I couldn't keep down water, and I was severely dehydrated, and they put me on an IV for 2,000 milliliters of electrolyte fluid, whatever, I don't know what it's called. I think it's called like NS or something. And they also gave me intravenous pain meds and nausea meds, and that allowed me to eat for about a day and a half. And then everything went to shit again. So, and also another withdrawal symptom is increased anxiety, and I already have very, 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 very high anxiety. My body is constantly in fight or flight mode, and I'm not being over dramatic either. That's an actual thing that my doctors have come to the conclusion of. I don't know if there's a diagnosis name for it, but yeah, and I've been this way for a long time, and the more stress, the more trauma I get, the worse it is. And so after that, 2020 trauma, after my suicide attempt, here's how bad it was. Michael realized that I hadn't listened to music since before my suicide attempt. And music is one of those things that has no, negative effects on you. You listen to music and it's good for you. Obviously some lyrics don't, do well for some people, but overall music is good. If I say I want to listen to something relaxing, I listen to Enya. Well, I hadn't listened to any music since 2021, September 2021. I only just recently started listening to music again. That's how bad the trauma was. And I'm still not over it. It's that big of a trauma, you can't just get over it. So, we went to my doctor's clinic today. It wasn't the ER, so we wanted to avoid going to the ER because it was expensive. Just being there for 4 hours was expensive. And we got a doctor to prescribe me, a muscle relaxer, hoping that, because I've got tension in my neck, in my traps, in my shoulders, and it just causes so much pain. I am in so much pain. I'm in so much pain that the other night when Michael came home, I was like, did you remember to bring the gun? Did you get the gun? Because, I'm dying, so end my suffering, please? So, this muscle relaxer is a serious muscle relaxer. It's one of those things where you can only be on it for a short period of time, because I think it's addictive, and it's like one of those things that people abuse. I've never abused a drug before. I'd like to think that I have stronger willpower than that. I mean, the only thing I abuse is food. So, I'm so hungry. I'm thirsty, too. It's very hard to keep down water. I've been chewing on ice chips. Hey, Whiner. What? Yeah, Whiner. And all my animals are like, what's going on? This isn't normal. Mom isn't loving us like she usually is. Well, except for just baby, because she can be out of the cage. Yeah. I would love to have my rats run around, but they're in the... Really, rodents are kept in cages for their own safety. Because there are... I did not mean to poke you in the eye. I am so sorry. I don't think she cares, but that made me feel bad. Yes, I love you too, sweetheart. Oh, she's biting my head. I don't know why you do that. Why do you do that? My head hurts. Where was I? Oh, I'm hungry and I'm thirsty. And so, because I'm hungry, I can't stop thinking about food, which I always think about food anyway. And when I think about food, it makes me nauseous. And what's worse is I'm thinking about all the foods that I definitely wouldn't be able to keep down right now. Like, I don't even want to say any more because it's already making me nauseous. No food. I have to keep telling myself food is bad, food is bad, food is bad in order to keep myself from thinking about it. And everything is making me want to cry. I cried. I had a bad panic attack before I went to the ER. I cried for like 20 minutes straight. According to Michael. He was there, so... Oh, my stomach just growled. So I'm hoping that the relaxation, the muscle relaxer, will quell the headache, calm the nausea enough so that nausea medicine works, so that I can eat something, or at least drink some freaking Gatorade. I hate this. And I don't even know when this is gonna end. This could end in a couple days, or it could last for like 6 more weeks. I can't do this for 6 weeks, and if this muscle relaxer doesn't work, I don't know what the next step is. The next step is I have to be admitted to the hospital so that they can monitor my symptoms and my nausea and feed me and keep me hydrated. But I don't think I'll have problem with portion control when I start eating again, since my stomach's probably the size of a golf ball by now. Yes, I see your flicky tail. I'm just not having a good time. So if your doctor tries to put you on duloxetine, Symbalta, whatever other brand names duloxetine falls under, you give them a hard no. Unless you plan on being on that for the rest of your God-given life, absolutely no. It's not worth it. Especially if it ends up not working. It's not worth it. I'm actually gonna look into this class action lawsuit and see if maybe I can get in on it. This is ridiculous. I've never, ever had a medication do something like this to me. But, I mean, I have a few interesting ideas for things. That's another thing that the duloxetine was doing, we think, was making, well, also it was majorly killing my libido, which if you're too young to understand what that means, then you shouldn't be on my channel. I'm pretty sure I have a cat hair in my eye. But we're pretty sure it was also killing my motivation, making it difficult for me to do anything. So, when I'm better, I'm gonna take a good long break before we try tapering off of Wellbutrin, because I was on Wellbutrin when I was in 6th grade for a little bit, and then they put me on Prozac, and then Zoloft, and both of those made me worse, so I stopped taking all my medications, on my own accord, as a preteen. Smart, yes, I know. Medical science wasn't quite as, advanced as it is now. Bipolar disorder is still called manic depression, and dissociative identity disorder was still called multiple personality disorder. And I believe Asperger's syndrome was still considered to be on the autism spectrum. Asperger's syndrome was considered to be on the autism spectrum, which I recently found out has not been the case for like 10 years. And I'm like, where have I been? Not here, apparently. Wow, you can really see my dermatillomania scars in this lighting. Holy crap. Anyway. So, I've got ideas. The ideas are there. It's just a matter of doing them. And honestly, I cannot say I'm dieting, because diet is associated with a short-term solution. I am trying to eat healthier. This needs to be a long-term thing, especially since I'm in my 30s, and I'm pretty sure I've been diagnosed with metabolic syndrome. My metabolism is not the way it used to be. I don't think I could get down to the weight that I'd like to be at. But I just need to eat healthier. Everybody needs to eat healthier. So when I get better and when I can eat, I'm doing a hell of a lot of cooking. But the first thing that I'm gonna do, because I don't know why, this is the weirdest thing, I'm craving salad like I would normally crave chocolate cake. I want a big ass salad. Ow! Damn it! Ugh! Ugh! Screaming isn't helping, but it's so frustrating. But I'm gonna do so much cooking. I'm gonna look up so many vegetarian recipes, and I'm just gonna really enjoy it. And when I make that salad, I'm gonna make 2 tiny salads for my rats, because they deserve it. My poor babies. Bosco especially. He imprinted on me when he was a baby, so he was born in a bin and grew up on my shoulder, and he's been taking this a lot harder than Ralphie. Ralphie has still been taking this pretty hard, but Bosco is sensitive, and he needs mommy. So, and the baby girl has been taking this weird because I haven't been in the living room, and we haven't been doing our routine, and everything's different. And, is there anything else? Well, when I get better, I am going to try and, get some projects going. I did manage to get out, for a walk yesterday, and I thought I was going to be okay because I got a little exercise, a little fresh air, and they say that helps with nausea. And then I got home, and that didn't work too well. And then we had to walk to the clinic, which was actually the same walk that I took yesterday. The clinic is literally up the road, and it's a hard walk in my current condition, but it's a good walk for when I get better and need regular exercise. Because our stupid apartment complex doesn't have a pool. And summer is hot. But I saw a lot of nice little purple flowers. And I also saw just some other plants that I could press and dry and make into something. And I had just inspiration for the first time in so long. And I do have more rat drawing ideas. And I have a lot of ideas, and I'm making sure to, keep them written down and keep them also in my head as much as I can. And I'm hoping that I get to them. And yes, I do want to finish muffins. And yes, I do want to finish playing with fire. I know for a fact that I will finish muffins before I finish playing with fire. It's very possible I will never finish playing with fire, even though I have the entire story written. I just don't have it illustrated. I have to be in a really good place to finish that. And I'm sorry. I didn't choose any of this. I didn't choose the chemicals in my brain. I didn't choose my upbringing. I didn't choose being tormented by all the people I've been tormented by throughout my life. And it has affected me, and I don't think people understood how severely mentally ill I am. And I've been accused of faking before, even though I don't do any of the things that fakers do. And I hope it took my tormentors by surprise when they realized how bad I am when I attempted. And I don't want to attempt again. I really don't. It's hard because it doesn't go away. It's very serious, and it can be treated by various means, but it's not an exact science. We don't know, and not everything works for everybody. My bipolar disorder might not be like your bipolar disorder. My anxiety might not be like yours. My PTSD might not be like yours. We don't handle it the same. Hell, me getting in a car crash isn't handled the same as you getting in a car crash, or as Joe Blow getting in a car crash, or, Plain Jane getting in a car crash. We all are different. We all have different brains, and we all handle things differently. And that's why you cannot mess with people. Because, honestly, I may not be one of these people, but some people will come after you if you mess with them. And I'm lucky, and my tormentors are lucky that I'm not one of those people. But I'm also very unlucky in the fact that I am so messed up. And at the heart of it all, you can thank my mother. But if you pray, I guess you can try praying for me. Thanks, even though praying does not work. They've actually proven that. Just hope I get out of this. Hope that muscle relaxer works for me. And hope that I don't have to deal with withdrawals for 6 more weeks. Yep, so I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else. Yep. Alright, bye.